welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is a special edition where we're going to be telling you all about the precious metal gold. It's Akshay Tritiya tomorrow, an occasion which is considered auspicious for buying gold and other precious metals as well. Now, we've already seen that the gold prices in India have been hitting all-time high levels this year, with sharp surge in prices in the last 6 months itself. In fact, the prices have rallied about 20% from last Akshay Tritiya till date, outperforming major other indices and other asset classes as well. Especially when we talk about the domestic gold prices, they've also outperformed the global prices because they've got support from the weaker rupee, which has been depreciating against the dollar as well. So a whole lot of factors working in favor for gold. But come this new occasion, Akshay Tritiya, which investors have been looking at on an annual basis as an option or as an occasion to really add on gold into their portfolios, will it be the right time for you to buy gold this time around? That's the question that we will get answers to from our expert. Joining in is Sugandha Sachdeva, independent commodity expert. Welcome, Sugandha, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. So the big question that I'm sure everyone is asking you right ahead of Akshay Tritiya is whether this is the right time to buy gold, because we've already seen a run up in the prices.
Hi Sakshi, thanks for inviting me here on your show. So talking about gold prices have been shining quite bright in 2023, and as you rightly pointed out, the last 6 months prices have soared by almost 20%. And gold has remained one of the best performing assets in 2023. And this year also we have seen gains of close to 10%, both in domestic markets as well as in international markets. So it has been a heady mix of various factors. In 2020, it was the COVID pandemic, which led to a significant rise in gold prices. Last year, it was the Russia-Ukraine crisis. And this year, we have seen the banking crisis, all of which have led to huge demand for gold as a safe haven asset. So gold is actually considered to be the most liquid asset since the dawn of time and a store of value. So this year also a lot of factors have been contributing to the rise that we have seen in gold prices. Since the last quarter of 2022, there has been a major decline that we have seen in dollar index, and that has favored gold at the expense of dollar. So this year
Okay.
also the decline in dollar index has continued, and that is favoring the upside that we have seen in gold prices. Besides this, the banking crisis, the deteriorating sentiments in the global financial markets, a lot of volatility also that we are witnessing in the global financial markets. So all of
Sure.
that is actually favoring a lot of interest in gold prices. Apart from that,
Right. Absolutely, Sugandha, you pointed out correctly, and you've put the context right here for all our viewers to understand what is leading to this sharp surge in prices, because that's extremely important to understand. Thank you for listing out all those factors as well. And the question that now everybody will be wondering is whether it is prudent at all to buy gold at this point in time, because on the one hand, you have this occasion which is considered auspicious, but at the other hand, we've already seen 61, 62,000 kind of levels already. Gold is hovering near 60,000 levels. Or should one really wait for correction, considering that the prices have already hit the roof?
So prices have already hit the roof, but then I think it's still a very good time to buy into gold, even though I would not say that you should buy all in one go. I think it should
Yeah.
be in a phased manner because prices are still very much hovering around the all-time highs. So Akshay Tritiya is the right time to invest in gold because it's considered to bring good luck and prosperity into your life. And if you also look at the scenario of last Akshay Tritiya till this Akshay Tritiya, prices have surged by almost 20%. And if you
Yeah.
also see the record for last 20 years, if I quote the prices of gold, they were hovering around 5,500 levels in 2003 at the time of Akshay Tritiya. So you can see the absolute returns that gold has given in last 20 years is close to 1,000%. And if you
Wow.
look at the annualized returns, they have been to the tune of around 12.3%. So as you can see, gold has normally delivered returns of around 10 to 12%. So this is also a correct time to buy gold. Though I would say one can wait for some corrections and add more. But yes, today also it's a very good time to accumulate gold because the outlook going forward is also very positive. Structurally, gold prices are primed to scale higher towards level of around 65 to 68,000 from a year-end perspective. And if I look at the next Akshay Tritiya, I think there can be some profit booking, but then prices can deliver returns of around 10 to 15% from current levels as well.
Okay. And how is the demand likely to pan out for gold in India because of Akshay Tritiya? And how is it likely to pan out versus last year? Do you see some kind of ebbing in demand because of the prices going so high?
Yes, I do see some ebbing in demand because prices are hovering at record highs and investors are waiting on the sidelines for some correction in prices. And we have already seen some correction setting in from the record highs of around 61 through 50 odd levels. Prices are currently hovering around 60,000 per 10 gram mark. So I think there would be some buying, but yes, it's likely to be slightly muted. And I think investors would wait for some more time. At the time of Akshay Tritiya, I think small ticket purchases would still be there. As I maintained, I think one can certainly buy 25% of whatever you want to buy in gold at
Okay.
current levels and wait for some declines towards level of around 58,500, which is a key support area for prices, wherein you can add more gold.
Okay. And you did talk briefly about the outlook on gold prices. You said 65,000 to 68,000 as the year end, and some profit booking could be taking place until next Akshay Tritiya. But investors who would want to really look or wait for some correction in prices, do you really see those opportunities also coming in FY24 when we talk about gold?
Yes, certainly, yes. I think there would be some profit booking at high levels. Why? Because dollar index has already declined and there has been some improvement in risk appetite, as we can see in the risky assets. There has been some retreat in risky assets, and there has also been a rebound in dollar index from levels of close to 100.80 mark. So, as of now, the Fed officials have been maintaining a hawkish stance, and markets are already pricing in another 25 basis point rate hike at the Fed's May meeting. And there is also a possibility of one more rate hike going forward. Even
Yeah.
though broadly markets are expecting that Fed is almost near the end of its rate hike cycle, the most aggressive rate hike cycle that we have seen in the last 40 years. But till the time this rate hike is continuing, I think that will be a dampener for gold prices, at least in the international markets. And we have
Okay.
also not seen that prices have been able to breach the record highs of $20.75 in the international markets. Yes, there is a lot more room in case prices manage to break that barrier in the international markets. It's only in the domestic markets that we have seen prices scaling to record highs. But yes, in international markets, we are still trading much below that. In case there is a breach, there is a lot more room. But till the time prices are not able to breach this resistance area, I think there can be some profit booking, some consolidation, because some signs of exhaustion are already there in this ongoing gold rally.
Right.
So wait some correction and add more gold on some declines. We will certainly see some declines, and that would be a good buying opportunity.
Okay. And also, if I could understand in absolute terms for all the viewers who have, say, for example, a shorter time frame and only for investment purpose, if they invest in gold from Akshay Tritiya to Akshay Tritiya, what has been the change in gold prices from last Akshay Tritiya, that was on May 3rd of 2022, till today, and where is it likely to reach by next Akshay Tritiya?
So, Sakshi, last year prices were trading around 50,800 per 10 gram mark, and today they are trading at 60,000 odd levels. So, gain of almost 19% that we have seen from last Akshay Tritiya. Next year also, I'm expecting prices to hover around 63,500 to
Okay.
64,000 at the time of Akshay Tritiya. So, we can look for further gains from here on, even if we invest at the time of this Akshay Tritiya.
Okay. Largely in India, we do see that Indians go ahead and buy physical form of gold, and they add physical form, like in jewelry form or in coins, largely in India, especially on these kind of occasions. Which are the other investment instruments of gold that one can really explore this Akshay Tritiya as well to add on to their portfolios?
So, Sakshi, we should segregate two types of demand for gold. One is ornamental purposes or gifting purposes. So, traditionally, investors have been buying into physical gold in the form of jewelry or coins and bars. But then, if you are looking at gold solely for the purpose of investment, and depending on your risk horizon and your time horizon and your risk appetite, I think there are other avenues as well, which are superior to holding physical gold, through which you can actually invest in gold and expect some steady returns as well. So, in terms of other avenues, I think we have gold bonds, which is a very good option to invest in gold because in sovereign gold bonds, you get additional benefit of 2.5% interest per annum, which is credited to your account over and above the appreciation that we see in prices of gold. Apart from
Okay.
that, if you hold it till maturity, you don't have to pay any capital gains tax. Apart from that, We have gold ETF, gold mutual funds, or gold derivatives also at the exchange platform. So these are other avenues for investing in gold.
Okay, understood that. Now, since you pointed out that we've been looking at substantial gains in gold from last year until today, and also in this year as well, about a 10%, 12% move on the upside in gold has already been seen. It's also surpassed the gains in the other asset classes. Considering these gains, would you recommend investors to have a higher allocation to gold in their portfolios? Traditionally, we've been seeing experts really giving investors an advice of 5 to 10% exposure to gold. Should that allocation increase in the current scenario?
Yes, considering the current economic landscape, which is quite uncertain, see, there are a lot of factors. There is a lot of geopolitical worries at the moment. There is friction going on between Russia and NATO allies. There is friction between US and China. So, geopolitical uncertainty is still lingering on, and that's a perfect time to add gold to your portfolio. In gold, which has a negative correlation with equities and debt, so it is the perfect time to add more gold to your portfolio because it will actually provide better risk adjusted returns to your portfolio. Apart from that, global economy is likely to head towards a recession by the end of this year. We've already seen growth softening. That is the time when investors actually flock onto gold. So I think having gold in your portfolio is a must. Allocation depends on your risk appetite and your investment horizon. But yes, at this point in time, when we are seeing a trend towards de-dollarization, it's must to have gold in your portfolio and it can actually be increased. Normally, we advise 10 to 15% of allocation towards gold through various instruments. But at this point in time, when the economic uncertainties are galore, one can actually increase allocation by in back to 20% as well.
Okay, increase the allocation to 20%, including all forms. Also, another question that largely investors get confused with is whether they should buy gold or should they buy silver, because along with gold we've been also seeing that silver prices are escalating very, very sharply, and looking at the diverse industries that silver has use in, it looks like it is likely to get perhaps more expensive going forward as well. What would you really advise investors who only want to invest in gold or in silver for investment purpose? Which one is likely to give them better returns over the longer period in time?
Sakshi very well pointed out. I think silver is likely to outperform gold going forward, but then one should certainly consider the fact that silver is a highly volatile
Yeah.
asset. Gold, comparatively, is a very stable asset. So one can, if somebody is looking for a slightly risky asset, one can certainly go in for silver because silver is one of the most undervalued assets. Silver
Right.
actually is also a precious metal as well as an industrial metal, and usages of silver are likely to increase significantly going forward because silver is extensively used in solar panels and electric vehicles. And the way we are seeing a green energy transition, so the use of silver going forward is likely to increase significantly. Besides this, we also see that gold silver ratio, it is currently hovering around 79 mark, which is indicating that there is room that it can slip further towards 60 odd level, which is the average for last several years. So that indicates that silver is likely to outperform gold going forward. So I think I would go for silver because last year we have seen that there has been a huge deficit also in silver,
Right.
and the demand has surged by almost 18% globally. So most of the factors are pointing towards sustained upside in silver, and it's in a persistent uptrend. In case we see silver prices edging higher above $30 per ounce, there can be a substantial rally that we can see in silver prices. On the domestic bourses, in case there is a breach of rupees 78,000 mark, we can see a sustained rally towards 86 to 88,000 levels as well
Wow.
for the year ahead.
Okay, so this will be FY24 and you're saying about 80 to 86,000
No,
rupees
I'm
per
talking about the calendar year 23.
calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's just about like more than a little more than the half a year remaining, and then the prices could actually escalate that much. So between gold and silver, your pick is silver, but definitely a staggered buy on gold because it's a stable asset, and in case you want an exposure to gold, this could also be the time when you can begin accumulating in a staggered fashion for sure. Starting from Akshay Tritiya and going forward, you may also look at some opportunities when the dips also come about. Thank you so much, Sugandha, for being with us on the show and discussing so many insights about what to expect on gold prices going forward from here, and whether this is the right opportunity for investors to dig in and actually invest in gold and silver. Thank you so much. All right, and with that, we wrap up this edition. But do stay tuned on to Business Today TV to catch all the updates from the world of stock markets and business, all coming up right up on your screens. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.